The video opens on a close-up of a diplomatic seal being stamped onto a document, a clock in the background reading 23:59. 1. A woman's voice, strained, whispers urgently. They haven't spoken a single word in 24 hours. Our translators are useless. And in 59 minutes, if we don't sign this treaty, their fleet is authorized to erase our colony from orbit. That voice is Dr. Elara Vance S. Her reflection stares back from the polished obsidian table, a ghost superimposed over the starfield beyond the viewport of the Gilded Hall. The most important negotiation in human history and her counterpart, Ambassador Kaelen, hasn't made a sound. He simply watches. His species, the architects, communicate through perfect, projected memories. A beautiful, terrifying technology. But why? What are creatures who can paint reality with thoughts so afraid of that they've sworn eternal silence? Elara's own memory is a cage. The ghost of a failed peace talk on Mars, a child's face blinking out on a settlement status screen, asterisk her asterisk failure. It's why they gave her this mission. The linguist who broke the Centauri trade deadlock. The woman who understands that silence is just another language. Anything? She murmurs, not turning. Behind her, Commander Rook's boots grind against the deck plating. His posture is a coiled spring. Scanners are clean, too clean, their ship is a void. No thermal, no comms leakage, no engine harmonics. It's like negotiating with a black hole. His hand rests on his sidearm. This isn't diplomacy, Doctor. It's a countdown to an ambush. Your paranoia isn't a negotiation tool, Commander. And your optimism is a liability. The central door to the alien chamber dilates open without a sound. Ambassador Kaelen enters. 7 feet tall, clad in seamless gray material that seems to drink the light, his face is an androgynous, serene mask. He moves with a fluid, weightless grace that makes the human observers feel like clumsy sculptures of clay. He doesn't sit. He stands at the head of the table and lifts a 3-fingered hand. The lights dim, the starfield vanishes, and a memory that is not Elara's floods the room. She is floating. The cold bite of vacuum seeps through a phantom hull. She is the sensor array of a warship, angular, brutal, unmistakably human design. Below, the crystalline spires of an architect outpost gleam on an airless moon. A targeting reticule flashes. A order, crisp and military, echoes in the void of the memory. Primary ignition authorized. A lance of plasma fires. The crystal spires shatter into a silent, blooming cloud of glittering dust. The memory snaps off. The Gilded Hall returns. Elara's heart hammers against her ribs. The violence of the memory was visceral, real. She could feel the weapon's discharge. Rook is already on his feet, his datapad glowing. That's a Providence-class cruiser. Standard armament. Human ships, Elara breathes, the accusation hanging in the air. Kaelen simply watches. Then he gestures again. A data slate extrudes from the table. On it, a star chart, a date, 6 months ago, the location of the attack. A log of the ship's transponder code. Rook scans it, his face hardening into stone. He turns his datapad to Elara. The transponder code is valid. It's assigned to the UNS * Vigilance *. Elara feels a sliver of ice slide down her spine. And the Vigilance *, Rook says, his voice low and deadly, was in dry dock at Jupiter Station for a drive refit on that exact date. It couldn't have been within 50 light-years of that moon. He looks from the silent alien to Elara. So either their perfect memory is a lie, or someone built a ghost ship to start a war. The central mystery deepens, twisting. Why show us this? An accusation? A warning? Or a confession? Kaelen extends a hand toward Elara, palm up. An invitation. Another memory gift. Doctor, don't, Rook warns, but this is her job, to understand. She gives a slight, tense nod. Kaelen's fingers don't touch her. A beam of soft light connects his palm to her temple. It's not a warship memory this time. It's hers *. The stifling meeting room on Mars. The angry red, rejected status on the settlement proposal. The face of the little girl, Lyra, whose family's application she had personally championed. The crushing weight of I have failed her *. The memory is perfect, every shameful detail. But then it amplifies *. The regret isn't just emotional, it becomes a physical pressure, a vice around her lungs. The image of Lyra's face doesn't just linger, it sears itself onto her vision, overlaying the real room. A phantom scent of The phantom scent of rust and recycled air from her Mars failure floods Elara's nostrils, overwhelming the sterile station air. Lyra's face is a ghostly afterimage, burned onto her retinas. She stumbles back, gasping, the emotional memory manifesting as a sharp, physical pain behind her eyes. What did they do to you? Rook barks, his sidearm half-drawn. Nothing, everything. Elara steadies herself on the table, the cool surface a lifeline. It was my memory. But they turned up the volume. It wasn't a sharing, it was an asterisk imposition. Kaelen retracts his hand, his serene mask unchanged. But Elara sees it now, a faint, rhythmic pulsing in the subtle bioluminescent lines beneath his gray skin. Not a heartbeat, a pattern, a containment rhythm. Rook's calm crackles. "Commander, you need to see this." It's his tech officer, voice tight. "Our internal chronometers are descending from Earth Central Time by a full 13 seconds, and it's increasing." "Explain." "I can't, it's like local spacetime is slipping. And our security logs from the last hour show gaps. Not deletions. They read as complete, but events are missing. Sir, the station's memory is being edited." Pattern interrupt 1, new threat reveal. The danger isn't just political or military. It's ontological. The architect's communication doesn't just show memories, it subtly rewrites the substrate of reality around it, starting with digital and temporal records. Elara's linguist mind races, connecting horrors. A silent species, perfect memory projection, reality edits. "They're not just afraid of speaking," she whispers, the theory forming like ice. "They're asterisk containing asterisk something. Their memories are a buffer, a firewall. A firewall against what?" Rook snaps, watching the alien ambassador like a bomb. "Against a language that does more than describe. One that commands asterisk." She meets Kaelen's gaze, speaking slowly, clearly. "You don't use spoken words because your words change things, permanently, don't they?" For the first time, Kaelen reacts. A slight, almost imperceptible tilt of the head. Acknowledgement. Then, he projects another memory gift, but not at Elara, at the main viewport. The starfield ripples, replaced by a cosmic vista, a world of impossible, singing crystal. Architects, but not silent. Their mouths are open in a harmonious chorus, and the very fabric of their world bends to their song, mountains rising, rivers carving paths in tune. Then, a dissonant note. A single singer out of sync. The crystal cracks. The world unfolds, then unmakes in a silent, geometric collapse. The memory ends with a view of a fractured, dead husk of a planet. The message is clear. This is their homeworld. This is their sin. This is why they are silent. Open loop stacking. New question. If a single dissonant note destroyed a world, what could a chorus do? Previous question, who built the ghost ship? Remains unanswered, deepening. "My God," Elara breathes, "you're not a species, you're survivors of a weaponized language." Rook's paranoia finally finds a true target. "And this treaty, what's the real terms?" Kaelen gestures. The treaty document on the table dissolves, its words reforming. The new text is simpler, terrifying. It's not a mutual defense pact. It's a single, urgent request. Sanctuary Protocol. Quarantine Zone Sigma 7, the singers have breached the silence. They are coming. The stellar coordinates flash. Sigma 7 isn't near architect space. It's on the human frontier. The location of the colony they threatened to erase. Expectation subversion. The treaty was never about peace between them and humanity. It was a desperate, clumsy attempt to get humanity to fortify a specific point. Because the architects knew the real enemy was coming for us . They weren't threatening the colony, Elara says, horror dawning. They were trying to evacuate it. They were warning us to get our people out of the path of whatever the singers are. Rook's comm explodes with static, then a panicked voice from the Vigilance asterisk. "Commander. Long-range scan anomaly. Unidentified vessel just translated at the edge of the Sirius system. It's broadcasting." On speaker, Rook orders. A sound fills the gilded hall, not speech, not music. A single, pure, crystalline tone. It vibrates in the teeth, in the bones. The station lights flicker. The viewport shimmers, and for a heartbeat, the stars outside blur as if seen through heat haze. On the table, the polished obsidian surface begins to lose its reflection. It's not going dull, it's simply ceasing. The pure tone from the unidentified vessel doesn't fade. It lowers, becoming a subaudible vibration that makes the fillings in Elara's teeth ache. The obsidian table is now a matte, featureless gray. It hasn't been scratched or stained, it has been unmade asterisk. The concept of a reflective surface is being gently, firmly, erased from its existence. Micro cliffhanger. The station itself is next. All hands combat stations seal bulkheads. Rook barks into his comm, but his voice is thin against the consuming hum. Vance, we are leaving, now. Elara doesn't move. She's watching Kaelen. The architect ambassador is no longer serene. His slender body is rigid, the bioluminescent lines beneath his skin flaring in a frantic, chaotic strobe, a visual scream. He projects a memory, not at her, but onto the air between them. It's a schematic, layered, and complex. The gilded hall station, the approaching Singer vessel, and a cascading wave of nothingness. A sphere of erasure, expanding at the speed of sound. The message is a countdown, 10 minutes until the wave hits the station's core. Pattern interrupt 1, perspective shift. Rook's comm connects to the bridge of the Vigilance asterisk. We're painting it with targeting LiDAR, Commander. His tactical officer reports, voice strained. No effect. The beams, they don't reflect. They just stop. It's like the ship isn't fully here. Fire a warning shot across its bow. Standard protocol. Aye, sir. On the viewport, a lance of plasma streaks from the human cruiser toward the distant, shimmering vessel. Halfway there, the plasma bolt doesn't explode. It unravels asterisk, dissipating into harmless light before fading completely. The Singer's tone doesn't change. It erased the attack, Elara whispers. Their song defines reality. Our weapons are just suggestions. Rook's face is pale under the station's flickering lights. For the first time, his paranoia meets a threat it can't outdraw. Then what's the play, Doctor? You're the expert on the impossible. Kaelen moves. With urgent, graceful sweeps of his hands, he projects a new sequence. Not a memory, but a lesson. It shows an architect mind, visualized as a lattice of perfect, coherent light. Then it shows a human mind, a chaotic, brilliant storm of conflicting signals, emotions, memories, lies, and truths all overlapping. The Singer's tone hits both. The ordered lattice shatters. The chaotic storm resists asterisk. The dissonance within humanity's psyche creates interference. Expectation subversion, our weakness, our messy, irrational emotions, is our only shield. Cognitive dissonance, Elara says, the theory clicking into place with terrifying clarity. Their language commands a single, coherent reality, but human thought isn't coherent. We hold contradictory beliefs. We lie to ourselves. Our memories are imperfect. That noise, it might jam their signal. Might, Rook echoes, it's all we have. She turns to Kaelen. You need us, not as allies but as living static, to scream back at the silence. Kaelen gives a single, solemn nod. He extends both hands, not an invitation for a gift, a request for a weapon. Open loop stacking, new question. What happens when a human mind is fully opened as a weapon? Previous question, who built the ghost ship? Is now a terrifying suspicion. Was it the Singers, fabricating a pretext to draw humanity into the open? Doctor, you can't, Rook says, but the fight is gone from his voice. The station shudders. A monitor across the room winks out, its screen not going black, but becoming a blank, frameless void. We have 8 minutes, Commander. Do you have a better idea? Elara's heart is a drum. She thinks of Lyra's face, her own shame, her hope, her rage. A chaotic, painful bundle. Give the order. Every human on this station, on the Vigilance asterisk, I need them to remember everything. The good, the bad, the secret, the painful. I need them to feel loudly and broadcast it. Raw, unfiltered neural output on every frequency we have. Rook stares at her, then at the void spreading on the monitor. He keys his comm. All vessels, this is Rook. Execute Protocol Pandora. I repeat, open the box. Broadcast everything. Now. He looks back at Elara. What are you going to do? She meets Kaelen's gaze. I'm going to be the amplifier. She takes his hands. The connection is not a memory gift. It is a floodgate. A torrent of human experience crashes into her, not from Kaelen, but channeled through him from every human on the network. The joy of a first kiss, the searing grief of a funeral, the private guilt of A. The torrent of human experience isn't a stream. It's a tsunami. Elara's mind becomes the conduit for a billion contradictory truths. The joy of a first kiss smashes into the searing grief of a funeral. a soldier's pride in his metal wars with his shame over how he earned it. A child's belief in monsters under the bed overlaps with a scientist's certainty that the universe is empty. Lies people tell themselves, truths they can't face, love and hatred for the same person, all of it, raw and screaming, floods through her. Kaelen's hands are anchors in the storm. She sees his mind now, not as a lattice, but as a dam, straining to hold back the ocean of human noise and shape it into a weapon. The architect's bioluminescent lines blaze white-hot with the effort. Outside, the void wave hits the station's outer hull. There is no sound of tearing metal. A silent, perfect circle of the hull simply ceases to be, leaving a smooth, impossible edge. The air screams out into the vacuum. Bulkheads slam shut, but the erasure is already inside, walking the corridors. A section of the security grid winks out of existence, not destroyed, but forgotten. The central mystery answered. The architects are silent because their spoken language is a tool of absolute creation that became a weapon of absolute deletion. To speak is to impose a single, willful reality. In their pride, they sang a perfect world. In their discord, they unmade it. Their memory projection is a cage for this power, a way to communicate by sharing what is asterisk rather than commanding what should be. They are afraid of their own voice, and they are terrified that the singers have chosen to use theirs again. Now, Elara screams, a raw, human sound against the consuming tone. Kaelen releases the shaped chaos, a visible wave of distorted light, a crackling, staticky storm of fragmented emotions and jarring memories, pushes out from the gilded hall. It meets the singer's sphere of erasure head-on. For a second, nothing happens. Then the perfect tone stutters. The void wave halts, shimmering like a mirage. The singer vessel, a sleek shard of crystal in the distance, seems to flicker. The human broadcast, the chaotic, glorious noise of a billion messy minds, isn't fighting the song with another command. It's asking a billion different questions. It's presenting a billion contradictory realities. It is, in essence, arguing with God, and God hesitates. On the bridge of the asterisk vigilance asterisk, Rook sees his opening. All batteries target the emission source, not the hull, the mouth of that damned song, fire everything. This time, the plasma bolts don't unravel. They strike the shimmering field around the singer ship and explode in showers of fragmented light. The pure tone fractures into a cacophony of discordant notes. The void wave recoils, snapping back toward its source like a severed limb. Inside the singer vessel, the coherent reality the singers had woven, a reality where the station, the humans, the silent architects did not exist, collapses under the weight of too much truth. Their perfect song shatters against the rocks of human paradox. The vessel doesn't explode. It unfolds, then implodes into a pinpoint of silent light and is gone. The silence that follows is deafening. It is the simple, profound silence of things that still exist. Elara slumps, breaking contact with Kaelen. She is drenched in psychic sweat, trembling with the echoes of a species. Rook is at her side, his hand on her shoulder, a solid, real weight. Kaelen stands before them. He is diminished, his light faint. He projects one final, simple memory. It is not of destruction or of home. It is of the gilded hall, intact. Of the three of them standing here in this moment. Then, he overlays it with a new image. The same scene, but with a dozen architects and humans working side by side at the stations, a silent, determined alliance. The treaty is on the table. The words have changed again. It is no longer a plea for sanctuary. It is a mutual pact of solidarity. The asterisk silent treaty asterisk, its first clause. To share memory, not command. To build understanding, not reality. Its second. To stand together against the silence that would unmake all songs, all stories, all messy, beautiful noise. Logical twist. The ghost ship was asterisk, a singer fabrication. Their strategy was elegant. Use a false flag attack to lure humanity into a war with the architects, wiping out both potential sources of noise in one conflict. They never anticipated that their enemy's weakness and their chosen enemy's weakness could combine into a strength. 1 month later. Elara stands at a new viewport overlooking a joint research station built where the gilded hall once floated. Human and architect scientists work in quiet tandem, studying the echoes of the singer frequency, building dampeners. The work is slow. The trust is fragile. Rook approaches, handing her a data slate. New intelligence. Long-range scouts are picking up. The silence that follows the Singer vessel's implosion is a physical thing. Not the dead silence of the void, but the fragile, ringing quiet after a scream. Elara sags against the obsidian table, now just a table, its reflective properties slowly bleeding back into existence. The psychic echo of a billion minds still hums in her bones. Kaelen stands opposite her, his bioluminescent patterns dim and erratic, like a star on the verge of collapse. The effort of channeling humanity's chaos has burned him from the inside out. The central mystery answered. The architects are silent because their spoken language is a tool of absolute creation that became a weapon of absolute deletion. To speak is to impose a single, willful reality. In their pride, they sang a perfect world. In their discord, they unmade it. Their memory projection is a cage for this power, a way to communicate by sharing what is asterisk rather than commanding what should be. They are afraid of their own voice. And the Singers are the faction that chose to use theirs again, not to create, but to cleanse the universe of the noise of other consciousness. Rook's voice crackles over the comm, pulling her back. Station integrity is stabilizing. The erasure effect is receding, but we've got multiple hull breaches on decks 4 through 7. Life support is failing. Elara pushes herself up, her eyes locked with Kaelen's. The treaty document still glows on the table between them. The words have solidified. The Silent Treaty. Clause 1, a mutual non-aggression pact. Clause 2, a shared research initiative to study and contain Singer technology. Clause 3, an intelligence alliance to locate other Singer enclaves. It's practical, it's cold, it's not enough. Kaelen projects a final, private memory into her mind alone. Not of war or loss. It's a memory of asterisk connection asterisk. The moment their minds fuse to direct the human psychic broadcast, she feels not just his exhaustion, but his awe. His species experiences reality as a single, coherent thread. For the first time, he felt the glorious, terrifying symphony of human consciousness, a cacophony that saved them all. The memory ends with a question, not a statement, an image of the two of them, side by side, not as diplomats but as partners. A bridge, logical twist. The ghost ship was asterisk, a Singer fabrication. Their strategy was elegant. Use a false flag attack to lure humanity into a war with the architects, wiping out both potential sources of noise in one conflict. They never anticipated that their enemy's weakness, and their chosen enemy's weakness, could combine into a strength. Our messy, contradictory minds were the perfect antidote to their perfect, erasing song. The treaty is ready for signature, Doctor, Rook says, his hologram flickering beside her. He looks from her to the silent alien. It's a good deal. It gets our people home. Elara looks at the document, then at Kaelen's offered hand, not to share a memory, but to seal an agreement. She thinks of Lyra's face, not as a failure, but as a reason. A reason to build something stronger than a temporary peace. She doesn't take his hand. Instead, she reaches for the treaty interface and adds a fourth clause, typing it manually. Clause 4, the Bridge Initiative. A joint vessel, crewed by human and architect, to venture beyond the quarantine zone. Mission, to find and offer a choice to any who still sing in the dark. Rook's hologram stiffens. Vance, that's not in our mandate, that's a suicide mission. No, Elara says, her voice steady. It's the only mission that matters. We just proved their power has a limit. Our noise can disrupt their song. What if it could also teach them a new one? She looks at Kaelen. You contained your power to survive. We're offering a way to use it, together. Kaelen is still for a long moment. Then, the serene mask dissolves. Not into emotion, but into something more profound. Consideration asterisk. He studies the new clause. He looks at Elara, and for the first time, she sees not an ambassador, not a survivor, but a scientist facing a terrifying, beautiful equation. He extends his hand again. This time, she takes it. There is no memory transfer. Only the firm, cool pressure of an alien hand in a human one. A silent agreement to face the unknown, not with perfect silence and not with chaotic noise, but with something new. A dialogue, 1 month later. Elara stands at the viewport of a new station, the Bridge Asterisk, built from salvaged gilded hall alloys and donated architect crystal. Below, in the docking bay, a sleek hybrid vessel is being prepared. Its design is neither human nor architect, a physical manifestation of the treaty. Rook approaches, no longer in combat gear, but in the uniform of the Joint Security Detail. He hands her a data slate. The data slate in Elara's hand doesn't show schematics or reports. It shows a star map, a single, pulsing coordinate transmitted on a frequency that makes the station's new hybrid systems blare with containment alarms. It's not a Singer broadcast, it's a distress call, and it's coming from inside the quarantine zone, the dead world of the architects. Climax, the final convergence. It's a trap, Rook states, his old paranoia flaring. They're luring the asterisk bridge asterisk in, finish what they started. Kaelen, standing beside Elara at the viewport, projects a memory so sharp it hurts. Not of the dead world, but of its last days. The great chorus, billions of voices in harmony, building a utopia of light and crystal. Then, the fracture. A philosophical schism. Should they use their song to shape only their world, or to curate the galaxy? The faction that would become the Singers believed all other life was chaotic noise, a flaw in the universe's music. They attempted to vote. Their vote was a single, commanding note: be silent. The memory shows the cataclysm. The command, meant only for dissenters, rebounded through the planetary chorus. It didn't kill, it unmade. Mountains, oceans, cities, and the beings within them were erased from reality, not by malice, but by a perfectly coherent thought made manifest. The survivors, the architects, fled, genetically engineering themselves to never speak again. Their memory projection was a desperate workaround, a way to communicate without the risk of command. The central mystery answered. They refused to speak because their language is a reality-editing tool of terrifying precision. They aren't afraid of others. They are terrified of asterisk themselves, of the part of their own nature that craves a silent, perfect, and empty universe. This signal isn't a trap, Elara says, watching the pulse on the map. It's a survivor, one who didn't fully embrace the silence, or the song. Kaelen nods, a human gesture he's adopted. He projects the mission plan for the hybrid ship, the Discord Asterisk. Its purpose, to reach the coordinate, not with weapons but with a broadcast, a curated stream of human memory and emotion, a testament to the beauty of noise. It's a diplomatic mission to a ghost, Rook argues. Suicide. It's the only mission that gives this treaty meaning, Elara counters. We don't just defend against the Singers, we offer an alternative. We prove a messy universe is worth preserving. The launch of the Discord is silent. No fanfare. Elara and Kaelen stand side by side on the bridge, a human pilot and an architect navigator at the controls. Rook watches from the station, his jaw tight. As the ship slips into the quantum drift, the last thing they see is his slight, reluctant nod. The journey to the dead world is a descent into a nightmare. The planet isn't a husk, it's a negative asterisk. A sphere of non-space, a blister in reality where something once was. At its heart, the coordinate. They find not a city, but a single, fractured crystal spire, a prison. Inside, suspended in a stasis field of its own making, is an architect. But this one is different. Its form shifts, flickering between solidity and light. Around it, like scratched recordings, are ghostly echoes of the lost chorus. It projects a memory the moment they enter. It is the memory of the cataclysm, but from inside the command. The agony of feeling your own will unravel your world. The guilt. This being, a composer of the chorus, tried to absorb the full silence command to save others. It partially succeeded, trapping itself in a recursive loop of that moment, a living wound in reality. Logical twist. The Singers aren't pure evil. They are radical Puritans, yes, but they sprang from this trauma. This trapped composer is the source of both their original sin and their fractured ideology. It is the ghost in the machine of their entire species. The composer's flickering form turns to them. It doesn't speak. It releases asterisk. A wave of pure, unfiltered grief and guilt, the unshared memory of a world's death, crashes into Elara and Kaelen. Elara buckles, but Kaelen holds her steady. For the first time, he does not just receive or channel. He replies. He projects back not just human chaos, but something new, a curated tapestry. The memory of the Gilded Hall's defense. The messy, beautiful noise of humanity holding back the void. The shared silence of understanding between two species. The hope of the asterisk bridge asterisk. He shows the composer that silence and noise can coexist, that a command does not have to be the only voice. The flickering stops. The composer's form stabilizes, not into an architect, but into something quieter, calmer. It looks at them, and then at the